What's up, YouTube fam? This is your girl, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and we back with another video. Let's hear from tonight's sponsor, and then we'll jump right into it.
This video is brought to you by Cool Green Clothing. Cool Green Clothing is a Baltimore-based clothing line that started back in 2018 and has been growing strong ever since. Make sure you follow Cool Green Clothing on Facebook and IG at Cool Green Clothing, and check out their website, coolgreenclothing.com, where you can find the latest cool green fashions and hats, women's apparel, and the latest men's collection. Remember, if you ain't coolin' and getting the green, you're in the way.
The word black always meant something negative, you know. For example, black sheep, black male, black market. Whenever you put the word black next to another word, it means something negative or up top in the English language. You know what I mean? But in business, the word black is kind of like totally different. It means something positive. So if your business is in the black, that means your business is in a good area. It's making a profit. You know, so in most businesses, it doesn't start turning a profit until the end of the year, them holiday times in the fourth quarter. You know, and that is what mostly Black Friday came about. You can go on and on down the list of these corporations that we've been putting in the black and keeping in the black. All right, what I want you to do is help a small business, preferable a black business, help them get into the black.
What's up, Two Times fam? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Baltimore Way. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I invite you to join the Two Times family. Tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get notified of all uploads. Be sure to like this video if you're rocking with the content. Comment down below and share your thoughts. Of course, always keeping it respectful. Share this video with everyone you know. Make sure you watch until the end to hear the full story. In this video, we will be talking about a mother who would stop at nothing to protect her son's freedom. So let's get right into it. A 32-year-old Northeast Baltimore mother, who we will call Rosie, took matters into her own hands when her teenage son was locked up on murder charges in July 2020. Her son, who was 14 at the time, and an older teenage boy who was 18, was charged with first degree after surveillance video allegedly showed one of the teens shoot and kill a 28-year-old homeless man after a fight in the 800 block of Low Street in the Jonestown neighborhood. The fight was allegedly over a $1 bill, according to reports. Police charged the teens as adults. The older teen allegedly pulled the trigger, but he names Rosie's son as his accomplice. In January 2021, Rosie met with her son's defense attorney to review her son's case and video evidence. Her son's attorney began to play a video of the older teen's police interview. That's when she found out that the older teen named her son as his accomplice. Despite the attorney telling her not to record, Rosie began to record the interview with her cell phone, according to court records. She later said in a recorded jail phone call, "I only recorded 7 minutes of it. I had to keep the phone in my lap." Prosecutors caught wind of this because Rosie posted the video to her son's Instagram page, but quickly took it down when prosecutors contacted her son about the post. She initially told her son that a child that was with her at the law firm recorded the interview. Reports say Rosie was then heard on a recorded jail phone call telling her son and another inmate that all rats must go. They said Rosie also provided the older teen's name, his physical description, and date of birth to the other inmate who was on the phone while talking to her son. According to court records, the prisoner apparently had means to pass Rosie's message to those who can harm the older teen, who implicated her son. According to the charging documents, the man behind bars told her he would put the word out when he went to throw out the trash the next day, and he would get the witness worn out. Oddly enough, there was also claims that the older teen was telling other prisoners that Rosie's son was telling. Once the investigation was complete, Baltimore prosecutors charged Rosie with attempting to intimidate the key witness in the case against her son in March 2021. In defense of his client, Rosie's son attorney said that his 14-year-old client has a 4th grade education, and because he has comprehension issues, that's the reason he was following the older teen who carried the weapon. The attorney questioned prosecutors why would they charge him as an adult. Rosie's son's attorney also requested for the case to be moved to juvenile court, but it was denied. The attorney continued on to say that since the older teen was telling other people in jail that Rosie's son was snitching, that is what pushed his client's mother to panic when he played her the police interview on a laptop. Her son's defense attorney said that Rosie's actions, however misguided, were intended to protect her son while he was locked up. After a Baltimore grand jury indicted Rosie in March, she faced up to 20 years behind bars. In September 2021, the mother of 5 pleaded guilty to witness intimidation. She was sentenced in November. Under the terms of her plea agreement, the now 33-year-old received 1 year in prison and 2 years probation. The judge suspended the rest of the 5-year sentence. Since Rosie didn't have any priors on her criminal record, it was likely taken into consideration when she was sentenced. Rosie's son's trial, along with the older teen's trial, are scheduled for 2022. The charges against them could bring a maximum sentence of life in prison. Fam, it seems like this mother not only was trying to protect her son, but she was also sticking to the code of the streets, saying all rats must go. The stop snitching culture in Baltimore became even more prominent once the infamous Stop Snitching DVD came out more than 10 years ago. Despite law enforcement efforts and campaigns to dissolve the stigma, it remains heavily. Many people have different opinions on the impact of this kind of culture. Some see no choice but to live by it out of fear of retaliation and little protection from law enforcement. Some believe that if more people spoke up, the streets might be a safer place. I guess it just all depends on a person's perspective or vantage points in their environment. I believe this mother was doing her best to protect her son and maybe had a lapse of judgment, but I strongly believe that this culture played a part in her decision. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. Let me know what you think about this story. Keep the discussion going. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. This your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm out.